agricultural schools are already present in Paraguay, like there are many of them, but they fail in like they don't have an impact on students' life because they only teach them how to produce the agricultural good, but when they graduate, they completely lack the understanding on how to sell them and how to profit from what they actually do. So I think Fundación Paraguaya could really teach them how to implement this entrepreneurial aspect into the agricultural school.
It's a move. Our expert okay, when I ask myself also the question of putting together these four different dimensions, you just mentioned that they do not educate children on the aspect of traditional culture. So would you say that it's more the southern realm which is lacking, or where do you think they're particularly strong, or where do you see potential weaknesses in terms of further development?
I think we saw that there are also great differences between the two schools, between the San Francisco school, which is already self-sustainable, and the Paracayú school that is still struggling with economic self-sustainability. Then the Paracayú school is much stronger in this eastern or southern aspect. The other one is much stronger in the northern or western. So actually, in the whole Fundación Paraguaya, it is present, these four realms. And they could really benefit from each other if they would try to exchange their ideas, to bring them together.
For reasons of time, we just go straight to Egypt.
Okay, so I really love the comparison of the students with the hero's journey. And I remember we talked about it in the intensive, how they are measuring the impact of their graduates. And I was wondering if the impact is merely like economically, they lift their community out of poverty, or how it could also be culturally and spiritual, that they really have like a holistic impact.
I think they do have more of a holistic impact, but the issue is that they're not measuring it at the moment. So they measure the success of their students on what they're doing, whether they're monetary-wise, lifting themselves out of poverty. The impact in the society isn't actually measured as efficiently. They can't tell what impact it's exactly having. But I dare say it does definitely help the communities, and they definitely want that. It's just that their focus isn't quite on it at the moment.
We are now focusing on the schools, but there's also the Poverty Stoplight Initiative. And this Poverty Stoplight, they do not only measure like economic numbers, they also measure like how is participation in community, cultural aspects, and things like that.
Thank you. We'll call it from Brazil.
I'm actually wondering who is in charge now of developing the whole curriculum, and how by maybe changing those people or like the way it is done the process, how it could affect it.
So the curriculum that the schools use is the national curriculum of Paraguay, and then each school kind of has its own small aspects that it incorporates that differ from school to school, depending on their area of focus. So the school in Paracayú is focused, it's in a nature reserve, so it's focused more on environmental science. And the school in Cerrito has more of an entrepreneurship focus to it. So there are slight differences in the school, but the overall curriculum is the national curriculum of Paraguay. And then Nora was saying there's a lot of changes happening in that ministry right now. So there's a big opportunity for Fundación Paraguay to kind of step in and have an impact there.
To observe that, people come to write about that, and like I did, to observe it, to learn about it, to help it evolve further. And in the end, you do have like the way it's termed in this theory is that you have a type of university that is created. But it was indeed what was happening on the ground. So for me, it was very beautiful to see that only through my presence, through who I was, like also bringing in games, that's why Anna laughed as well, because we're in the same youth organization and we know like these team building games from the same perspective. So like just by bringing in these things, I could already feel I made a contribution, and that was well received, and I felt very welcome. And at the same time, to me, it gave me so much. Like I learned so much from these people, from the whole experience, and from being able to co-evolution as with these people, basically.